Hello, just so I have something to post, I will be talking about a species I created called Guardians. In this video, I'll be going over lore, behavior, guidelines, rules, frequently asked questions, and my own OC, Noir. If you would like to skip this video and read about the species in its entirety, feel free to check out the website and Discord server, link in description. Otherwise, let's get straight into the lore. A guardian is essentially a bird and fluffy dragon mix with cat and dog-like traits. Every guardian must have horns or antlers, a feathered neck, and back or front bird-like feet. There are two types of guardians, gliders and ducks. Ducks are guardians without wings, gliders are guardians with wings. Pretty simple concept. Most guardians avoid swimming in water due to their size, though this rule does not apply to waterfowl-based guardians. Instead, guardians keep themselves clean via dust, dirt, and other guardians. Guardians live in clans made up of 2 to 5 members, generally being family. Guardians are genderless and cannot reproduce sexually. Instead, two come together and match their energy via their horns. Then, a little egg poofs into existence. Villages are groups of people who live more towards the forest area. Most villagers are well aware of guardians. Some hate them and some don't. Guardians don't have many predators due to their size. The only predators they have to worry about are humans. Guardians are omnivores. Due to their large stomachs, they've learned to eat small meals over time. They usually eat a small meal every 2 days. Here is the Guardian height conversion chart. You do not need to follow this. You may choose your own height. Generally, the minimum height for Guardian is 12 feet tall. There is no maximum height as of now, as long as it's reasonable. Next up, behavior. Guardians have a similar personality to a cat. They like to climb, paw at things, etc. All guardians squeak and chirp, though some can replicate a few sounds or phrases, like a bird. Otherwise, guardians are very social and intelligent creatures. They can do tricks and figure out puzzles easily, though they're very prone to frustration. Next up, guidelines. All of the guidelines are drawn out, so I will be showing most of the pictures on screen while explaining some of them. The horns can be almost any shape, but here are some examples and some patterns. Most guardians do not have visible ears, so here are where their ear canal rests. Guardians rarely stand on 2 feet, but here's what they look like if they did. Ducks waddle, whereas gliders have better balance due to their wings. Rarely will a guardian have bird-like back feet or visible ears. These ears replicate that of a cat and cannot be dog-like, aka things like folded ears. The only rule about the bird-like feet is that a guardian must never have both front and back bird-like feet. Guardians are omnivores and have forked tongues. These tongues may be any shade of pink, purple, or blue. Guardians also vary with blood colors. They may have black, red, blue, purple, or teal-colored blood. Here's the variety of tails and wings guardians can have. Blue is fur, pink is feathers, and purple is the fin tail, strictly for waterfowl-based guardians. Guardians can grow to be as old as 130 years old, so here's the timeline from kit to elder. Typically, kits are born with almost no feathers and small horns. Some elder guardians are allowed to have 4 horns at most. Guardians may have a variety of different paw and eye colors. The paws may be any shade of these colors, whereas the eyes I will be more strict about. Heterochromia is allowed. Now it's time for rules. Some things I may allow are hybrids, as long as it's reasonable, missing limbs or scars, collars and or harnesses, as long as it's done by a villager, piercings, like nose rings, must be done by a villager, hair or featherless guardians, antlers in place of horns, and make your guardian off of an extinct bird species. Some things that are not allowed are extra limbs, bright neon colors on the body, feathers and horns are okay though, powers and abilities of any kind, scales, hooves, guardians based off of fictional birds, guardians with full body clothing, guardians with front and back bird feet, must be one or the other, and guardians with obvious breasts or any other parts. They are intersex or genderless. Now it's time for the FAQ. Can I give my guardian a longer, sharper mouth to somewhat resemble a beak? Yes, you may. Small changes to the snout are allowed. Am I allowed to put extra feathers on them? Yep. As long as it's not covering the entire body, you may. Can some guardians look feminine and other masculine, like more built features, while feminine ones have softer features and eyelashes? Yep, as long as they don't have definite genitals or anything. So I know they're genderless, but can they still have different pronouns like he, him, she, her, it, etc.? Yes, of course. I'm not going to stop you from making your guardian have different pronouns. And you can also make your guardian trans, non-binary, gender fluid, etc. Believe me, their gender identity and sexuality is the least of my worries. Can guardians speak words? Generally, they squeak and chirp, though they can be taught to replicate certain things. They just don't understand what they're saying. Can guardians be based off of real birds or the fantasy ones too? As much as I'd love to see a phoenix-based guardian, unfortunately they cannot be based off of fantasy birds. Lastly, I'll be talking about my own guardian character, Noir. Noir is a guardian who was captured by villagers as a kit. These villagers had found out the key to control is not the bond, but the energy that laid in a guardian's horns. They managed to manipulate Noir to do their bidding by showing these strange symbols to them. When Noir saw or was near these symbols, his horns would glow. As much as he tried to resist, his thoughts, actions, and feelings would be easily manipulated depending on what the villagers wanted him to do. These symbols were eventually painted onto Noir's body to show the villagers claimed him. One day, a lonesome guardian found its way to the village and attacked those who stayed there. Noir defended them with their orders. The two fought ferociously. Eventually, the loner had thrown Noir to the ground, causing his horn to break and his relation to humans to disappear. The loner got one more hit on them, making them lose their eye before Noir fled. The symbols on Noir will likely never fade, and the black blood dripping down his eye had stained his fur permanently. It's unknown whether or not Noir's broken horn will ever regrow. Noir still wonders what happened to him for those years, since it felt like he had been in a coma as a kid, all the way to young adult due to being controlled for so long. He also wonders about the village, if it was still alive and well after the Guardian had attacked it, though it's likely it didn't survive. After spending many months wandering the forests, learning how the wild works and how to take care of himself, one day he came across someone on the beach who looked like a human. Noir was surprised and terrified, but eventually Wolkian was able to calm Noir down and tame him. Noir had realized the human was actually a siren who could transform themselves to look human. Now Noir lives with Wolkian happily, helping out on the farm and such. He's still afraid of most stranger humans and is protective of Wolkian. That's Noir's backstory, and here's his ref sheet. And here's Wolkian's. Wolkian is owned by my friend. I will link her social media in the description. Noir is based off of a blue jay, and in case I forgot to mention, all guardians must be based off of a bird. Whether that be something like a flamingo, or even a sun conure, or anything like that. So I believe that's most of the information. Please do not use this video as your main source of information, for I have not explained everything the species contains. Please check out the website or Discord server, link below, and thank you so much for watching this very long video about the species I created called Guardians. Thank you and goodbye.